Welcome to the wildest side of rock history where fame, chaos, and desire collided behind closed doors. These weren't just musicians. They were legends who lived like gods, loved without limits, and left behind body counts so massive they became mythology. From hotel hallways packed with groupies to scandalous backstage secrets, these rock stars pushed excess to levels no one else dared. Get ready, what you're about to hear is almost unbelievable. Gene Simmons, the man who turned desire into a career. Gene Simmons wasn't just a rock star. He engineered himself into the ultimate symbol of rock excess. Long before modern fame culture existed, Simmons proudly claimed he had slept with over 5,000 women. And the insane part? Fans believed him because every story from the Kiss era sounded like something pulled straight from a forbidden diary. Simmons treated fame like currency, and women lined up wherever he went: hotel lobbies, backstage corridors, even airport terminals. He took Polaroids of his encounters for years, creating what insiders described as a private museum of temptation, until Shannon Tweed forced him to burn them. But destruction only fed the legend. Simmons traveled with an entourage, a moving circus of groupies and chaos, and he indulged in all of it with unapologetic confidence. What made Gene such a phenomenon wasn't just opportunity, it was intention. Everything about him was crafted for desire. The armor, the tongue, the snarl, the persona. Simmons reinvented the idea of a rock frontman, turning sexuality into a business model. Even decades later, he remains the undisputed titan of rock body count mythology, a man whose life blurs the line between truth and unbelievable excess. Mick Jagger, the man who never stopped. Mick Jagger didn't just date women. He collected entire eras of beauty supermodels, actresses, socialites, royalty, and thousands of fans who couldn't resist his hypnotic presence. Biographers estimate he may have been with 4,000 plus women, but even they admit that number could be far higher. Jagger's movements alone were seductive poetry. His lips, swagger, and serpentine energy made him irresistible on stage and off. His relationship list is a gallery of icons: Marianne Faithfull, Bianca Jagger, Jerry Hall, Carla Bruni, Angelina Jolie, Uma Thurman's mother. The list never ends. Women chased him across continents, camped outside hotels, and stormed backstage doors simply for a chance to meet him. On tour, he was unstoppably night, a new city, a new performance, a new tide of women waiting. Even bandmates joked that Mick had a second full-time job: romance. Jagger wasn't just living the rock lifestyle. He defined it. His sexuality, charisma, and emotional turbulence became part of the Rolling Stones mythology. To this day, Mick remains rock's eternal seducer. Steven Tyler, Aerosmith's beautiful disaster. Steven Tyler lived life like a firework, beautiful, explosive, and dangerously close to implosion. His voice, his theatrics, and his feral charisma made him a magnet for thousands of women. Tyler once admitted that he had long lost count of how many lovers he'd had. Everyone believed him. Backstage at Aerosmith concerts was notoriously wild. Tyler floated from dressing rooms to hotel penthouses like a rock demigod high on adrenaline and attention. His controversial relationship with a teenage Julia Holcomb became one of rock's most talked about scandals and symbolic of the era's reckless excess. Groupies adored him because he embodied everything forbidden: vulnerability and danger, glamour and madness, seduction and destruction. Tyler was a lover, a sinner, a poet, and a storm. To many, sleeping with him wasn't just a fling, it was a badge of honor. A night inside rock's most intoxicating hurricane. David Lee Roth, Van Halen's hyperactive pleasure king. David Lee Roth lived every single day like the after party of a lifetime. He was kinetic energy in human form, jumping, flipping, screaming, laughing, and seducing. He publicly claimed he had slept with thousands of women, joking that he needed a spreadsheet to keep track. Van Halen's tour life became legendary because of him. The band ordered bowls of M&Ms, mountains of booze, and lines of groupies stretching into service hallways. Roth didn't just participate, he orchestrated. Fans threw themselves at him, and he reciprocated with theatrical enthusiasm. His charisma was electric. He was funny, cocky, flirtatious, and wild. David treated sex like another form of performance art: loud, colorful, excessive, and unforgettable. He proudly embodied everything parental advisory labels warned you about. His life wasn't a mess. It was a carnival. Axl Rose, the most dangerous lover in rock. Axl Rose was a gorgeous, volatile contradiction. His face said angel, his eyes said fire. Women were drawn to him, not despite the danger, but because of it. His relationships burned fast and bright obsessive romance mixed with explosive fights. Axl's love life included models like Stephanie Seymour, dancers, actresses, fellow musicians, and countless groupies. His connection to Erin Everly resulted in passionate highs and devastating lows that fueled fan obsession for decades. Backstage, Axl lived in a tornado of beauty, envy, possessiveness, and chaos. Axl didn't love softly. He loved like dynamite. Every romance became a story people whispered about, a legend amplified by tabloids, fans, and former lovers. If rock and roll ever produced a romantic hurricane, it was Axl Rose, Jimmy Page, the dark wizard of rock excess. Jimmy Page is the high priest of rock decadence. Led Zeppelin's tours were so wild that road managers still refused to discuss them fully. Page was mysterious, seductive, and dangerously curious, which made him irresistible to groupies. His alleged relationship with the infamous teenage groupie Lori Maddox remains one of rock's most controversial stories. But even beyond that, Page's life was a labyrinth of gothic romance, candlelit hotel rooms, occult books, whispered encounters, and women who described being drawn to him like a spell. He didn't just attract groupies, he mesmerized them. Some described him as otherworldly, hypnotic even. Magnetic, Page blended beauty with danger so perfectly that he became mythology in human form. Robert Plant, the Golden God. Robert Plant didn't need to chase women, they chased him. On stage, he was pure erotic electricity. Golden curls, bare torso, tight pants, and a voice that dominated entire stadiums. Fans fainted, screamed, pushed through crowds just to get near him. Plant embraced the attention fully. He indulged in the backstage culture. Led Zeppelin became infamous forerooms, overflowing with groupies, late-night parties that lasted until sunrise, and unending lines of admirers. He admitted years later that he lived too fully, too fast, too carelessly. Plant became the blueprint for every rock frontman who followed him. The Golden God wasn't just a nickname, it was truth. Lemmy Kilmister, the last true rock barbarian. Lemmy was living proof that charisma beats conventional beauty every time. He said he stopped counting after 1,000, and everyone assumed the real number was far higher. Lemmy lived in bars, backstage rooms, tour buses, and dive clubs anywhere. Chaos thrived. Women adored him because he was authentic. He didn't pretend, didn't sanitize, didn't apologize. He drank harder than anyone, partied harder than anyone, and somehow outlived nearly all of his peers. Lemmy's lovers described him as a mix of danger, comedy, tenderness, and rebellion. He was the final embodiment of raw, unfiltered rock masculinity. Bono, the surprisingly scandalous frontman. Bono is widely seen today as the diplomatic, humanitarian face of rock, a man of charity, activism, and poetic sincerity. But rewind to the 1980s and 1990s, when U2 was exploding across the world, and you'll discover a very different legend whispered backstage. Touring life wrapped Bono in a whirlwind of attention. Supermodels, actresses, aristocrats, journalists everywhere he went, women were drawn to him. Not in the same wild, chaotic way as metal frontmen, but with a seductive intensity rooted in his intelligence and vulnerability. Bono's charisma wasn't loud. It was magnetic, persuasive, almost intoxicating. Rumors of affairs circulated endlessly. From London hotel rooms to Manhattan after-parties, some insiders claimed Bono lived a public saint, private sinner, double-life devoted husband on stage. Mysterious lover, off it. Tabloids linked him to high-profile women, while anonymous sources whispered about secret romances during tours, late-night and private charity events, even if half the stories are exaggerated. One truth remains undeniable. Bono had far more rock star edge and romantic scandal in his past than the world likes to remember. Fans saw the sunglasses, the soft smile, the gentle activism. But behind that carefully shaped image lived a man who embraced the intoxicating power of fame and the secret desires that came with it. Bono isn't just a legend of music, he is one of rock's most surprising quiet storm seducers. A man whose private life is still full of unanswered questions. Rod Stewart, the bedroom legend, Rod Stewart didn't just live the rock lifestyle, he defined it. The moment he stepped into the spotlight, with that iconic raspy voice and playfully confident grin, women across the world were drawn to him like he was a magnetic field, and Rod welcomed every moment of it. His romantic resume reads like a who is who of global beauty. Supermodels such as Rachel Hunter and Alana Stewart, actresses, dancers, aristocrats, and a staggering number of fans. Stewart's charm was lethal funny, self-aware, mischievous, and utterly confident. He didn't chase attention. It came to him effortlessly. Rod's relationships were passionate, dramatic, and often chaotic. He fell in love quickly, fell out of love slowly, and always left a trail of unforgettable stories behind him. He married beautiful women, divorced them spectacularly, and started again with the same fiery enthusiasm. Rumors suggest he slept with thousands, and Stewart never denied it in fact. He joked about it freely. His famous quip says it all: "I've loved more women than I can remember, and remembered more than I should have loved." Behind the humor was a man who truly adored women. He treated romance as a grand adventure, a constant dance of excitement and seduction. And women adored him back because he made them feel seen, admired, and desired. Rod Stewart wasn't just a rock star. He was rock's ultimate romantic myth, the songwriter of love ballads who lived every lyric off stage with relentless passion. And there you have it, the true, unfiltered stories of rock's most dangerously seductive icons. Behind the lights, behind the noise, behind the fame, these stars lived lives faster, darker, and far wilder than anyone imagined. Some lost themselves in the chaos, some turned their desires into legends, and others are still denying the rumors today. But one thing is certain: the history of rock and roll was built on more than music. It was built on passion, obsession, and a level of excess the world will never see again. If you enjoyed diving into these unbelievable stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and tell me which rock star secrets you want exposed next. Rock history is far from over. This is only the beginning.